Okay, so... Oh, did that hurt your head? Yeah, quit jumping up on people then. No, don't. Seriously, just... You guys go do something. You have... No, you... Stop. You have to quit jumping up on people. Okay. No, I'm talking to... I know it seems like there's some... No, stop. There's nobody here. Oh, man. This is my life. Anyhow. This is a response to Roadhog's video wanting to know why I called myself Wannabe Scrapper. There's no short answer other than I wasn't a scrapper when I started the thing. Oh, wait. Sorry, there's like a hair across the lens. I had never scrapped. I did this in an introduction video on a different video platform that I tried out, but it just didn't work out. But yeah, so basically what happened was I was in over my head. I had quit working, started my own business, and it was like the late winter, early spring of last year, and I had just got done like my second bout of COVID, and it was bad. It was right after my mom's death. So we went to the I don't know what you call it, interment. Like she went into the niche wall, like her cremated remains. So we all went to this thing, and this was where I'm from, about an hour east of Toronto. And so when we got there, this whatever you would call them, like I don't think it was a priest, or she was like maybe it was like a pastor of something, but she said, you know what, everybody take off your masks, get in there, hug each other. It's -16 and COVID can't live at this temperature. And so we were, like, oh, whatever. Nobody liked wearing masks anyhow. Anyways, by the time I flew home from there, I didn't realize, like, I didn't have a fever, but on the plane I started feeling really bad, like, and I had my brother-in-law had given me a COVID test that said it was negative. And then after I got here, like, I was so sick and I had to go right to work because, well, first of all, because of having to take off, I had to hire somebody to work and stay at our house, like look after the dogs and cats and everything. So the stress of everything got me into a pretty dark place emotionally, like mentally, and all of a sudden I was like worried. So I was doing security 12-hour shifts, 7 days on, 7 days off. The time I was also, like, during the days trying to drum up business, trying to find other revenue streams, because I knew that this one job wasn't going to go forever. So but while I was sitting there for my 12-hour night shifts, I was like bored. So I was playing video games and I was watching all of the Marvel movies, all of the Star Wars movies, everything. I was just kind of binge watching everything because I had like 12, probably at the end I'd have like maybe 8 hours to myself with nobody around, just sitting there overnight. And so once all the stress and everything started coming on, I just remember I was sitting there like playing Raid Shadow Legends, and I was like, and I had all kinds of like, I had a Discord channel. I had, I was trying to just immerse myself in this, and but it wasn't helping. Like, it was just making me more depressed. So we had like agreed to buy this building behind us. Many of you have probably seen it. And upstairs was all of the satellite equipment for the cable company that used to operate out of there. And a friend of mine, like when I had just taken a video of the building, and I was like, just taking a walk through, and I had put it on like my personal YouTube channel, and a friend of mine said, "Oh man, you got to scrap those." And I mentioned him in a short I just did not too long ago too. My friend Tack, he's like, "There's palladium in those boards. There's like you can get all kinds of stuff, gold, everything out of those. You got to scrap those." So I'm like, "Oh man, like that might be what I need to do." But I didn't know how to. Like I had gone like to his place and helped him with scrapping, but it was mostly just him handing me things and saying, "Can you try and pull this out of there?" And then at the end, we might take the buckets of whatever. I didn't even look at what he had to the scrapyard back home, and he'd get $300 or something like that, and then we'd go out and have mucho burrito. Like that was the extent of my scrapping. So, and I know this is going on way longer, but this is leading up to it. So, I didn't know how to scrap, so I went on Reddit, found a scrap metal group on Reddit or subreddit, and just started asking questions. I found the scrap metal forum, which I was sorely disappointed with. But the thing was, like, before I even opened any of my the stuff that was in the building, my wife called me because she had seen that I was getting interested in finding out about the scrapping, and I remember saying to her, like, "Oh yeah, like copper and aluminum, that's the big ticket money because there's lots of that around, and it's worth way more than steel." So she called me one day, like she said, "Hey, I just got done work and I went by the hotel, and there's a whole bunch of things like copper. I could see the copper in them out behind the hotel, like just in the grass." And I was like, "Oh, no way. Like, I'm going to go check that out." I mean, we live in a tiny, tiny town. There's like less than 1,000 people here. So where I was working was like 3 doors down from the hotel. So on my way home that morning, I swung in behind, and there was 5 like hotel air conditioning units, like those big they're a plug-in unit, but they're still like, they're not like your window mount. They're built into the wall under the window or something. So I was like, "Oh, that's awesome, look at all that copper." So I ran inside and I said, "Can I get those air conditioners?" The guy goes, like, "You want them?" I was like, "Yeah, I'll take them for sure. Like, that's amazing." So I loaded the van up, all 5 of them. I fit them all into the van. And so I was like, I don't know how to break these down. I'm just going to take them to the scrapyard. So I drove home as soon as the scrapyard opened. And like I'd already worked 12 hours. Now I'm just like, it was my last shift of the week. So I had a whole week off. I phoned the scrapyard and I said, "I've got these 5 air conditioning units. Like, how much will you give me for them?" They're like, "Are they drained?" And I was like, "Well, I don't know what you mean." Like, do they have a tag on them? Like they're professionally drained? Like they have to be, all the refrigerant has to be evacuated out of them? I said, "Oh, I don't know." And they said, "Well, we won't take them unless they are." So I was like, "Okay." So I called the guy at the hotel, the front desk guy that gave them to me. And I said, "Do you know if these were evacuated?" And he's like, "Well, yeah, the technician probably evacuated them when he took them out. He came up from Vancouver." And I was like, "Oh, okay, right on." So I was like, "Okay, well, I went out. I couldn't see any tags or anything. I didn't understand what it would look like, but there was no tags. But this guy had said that the technician would have evacuated them. So I started cutting the copper off of them. And then I got to the last one, and there was no problem. Like I assumed they weren't working because the refrigerant had leaked out or something. I got to the last one, and it was still in my van. I just had the back door open, and I was just kind of cutting copper off and pulling the shred out and throwing it on the ground. And I was just going to take that all to the dump because I'm not going to drive it an hour and a half to make 6 cents a pound. And I realized like I had no idea what I was doing, like absolutely no idea. So I started the YouTube channel and um, asked questions in the like in videos, like how what do I do here, and the response was underwhelming. I wasn't aware that I didn't understand YouTube. I'd never tried to like be a actual YouTuber. I never looked into what you needed to do, and so then I was like, oh well, this is stupid. And the a friend of mine from South Africa was watching the videos because he was subscribed to the channel, and he said, hey, why don't you go on 3Speak? You can earn crypto for doing the videos. And so I was like, oh great, I'm not getting anything on YouTube. Nobody's commenting, nobody's showing up. I'm getting like 1 view, 2 views, and I know those are just my friends. So but I had called myself Wannabe Scrapper because I really wanted to be a scrapper. Like I was, but I also knew that I had no clue what I was doing, and I'm kind of one of those people who I'm pretty open, pretty like I try to be as honest as I can, as transparent as I can. So I didn't want to call myself such and such scrapper because I wasn't at that time a scrapper. So I just called myself Wannabe Scrapper, and I still don't know. Like I have no idea most of the stuff that I'm tearing apart. I'm just kind of like, what's this like? And that's where I'm asking questions. It's not because I just want to hear myself speak. It's because I really don't know, and I've never seen another video where somebody has covered it. So the as I do like to scrap things right down to nothing. I've got pails. If you look at my shop, there's pails and bins and buckets, everything full of little transformers, little motors, and at one point, like when I was sitting in my van for 12 hours a night, I was pulling all of that apart, everything. All those little relays, I'm breaking them apart and pulling. I didn't realize there was silver in them at the time. I think I was just throwing them all in a little brass bucket or something. I still have it all. Like every gold pin I cut out, I still have it all somewhere. Like it somewhere in that mess is stuff from a year ago that I really didn't know what I was doing, but I needed to do something, and I felt productive. Whereas when I was playing video games and just watching movies, it made me feel bad. Like I kept on looking at myself like, what are you doing with yourself? Like, why are you, you're just wasting time here. Yeah, you're getting paid, but you might as well be doing something productive, like learning something. And that was all that the whole thing was, just to learn how to become a scrapper. It wasn't until somebody said, well, now you can't be a wannabe scrapper forever. Sooner or later you've got to be a scrapper. And it doesn't matter, like to me it's just a name, and I'll never stop learning. Like some guys that do scrapping full time probably have seen everything, but like to me, I've been doing this for a year, and every time I am doing something, because I find all my stuff at the dump. So it's like there's hydro dams, there's like all kinds of oil field, industrial, technological stuff everywhere all around us, and it all gets thrown in the dump. And it's all just thrown in there for free, and we're allowed to go pick it out for free. So that's why I keep finding stuff. I don't even know what the stuff is. Like I just pull it, oh, here's a pump. I wonder what's in that. So I go and I tear the thing right down, and then I find out lots of times, I might have spent 3 hours tearing something down to find out I got like 80 cents worth of aluminum out of it. Like, I'm sure you guys all know what that's like. But whereas most people are like, I'm not going to waste my time doing this. To me, it's that'll change. Like if this ever becomes my full-time profession, of course I'm not going to be able to spend 8 hours a day making $3. I understand that. But for right now, it's not my full-time profession. So it's like my downtime thing to do. The videos, I just enjoy making videos. I'm going to try and get better at making them. Like I know I don't do things I'm supposed to do. I know I'm supposed to say like, share, subscribe. I'm supposed to like, put the little graphics up that have the bell dinging and shit like that. But that's not what I'm about. But I do realize that, it is helpful. I can tell because, like, I get videos that have like 2 views and 0 likes. And, then sometimes I get like, there's for some reason, like the shorts with the dogs, even though I don't like tag the dogs or anything like that in them, they get like 1,300 views and 11 likes. Well, I'd rather have 5 views and 2 likes compared to 1,300 views and 11 likes. It's just like, to me, that's just people, clicking and just passing through. They don't care. Like, there's, to me, this, the reason I came back to YouTube is because I was watching a Tin Man video, and Bush Dog Scrapper was in the comments. I think he was like at the top of the comments talking about something in Alberta. And I'm like, oh, hey, like, I'm near Alberta. I'm, probably an hour away from the border here. And so I thought I'll go check that guy out. Like, I don't know any scrappers up in the north here. And it turned out he was from like just north of Edmonton there. And I've never been. Actually, I shouldn't say that. I think I was at Alberta Beach once to pick up a load of peat moss. I'm a truck driver originally, so. But then I got in there, and then I saw like all these people, like Roadhog. I see all these people commenting on his videos, and I'm like, oh, like this guy's doing what I'm doing. Like, he's just, finding stuff and tearing it apart. Like, like I'm not gonna do a video on every microwave I tear apart, because I tear apart a ton of microwaves, and same as like vacuum cleaners and all that. Plus, everybody else has done videos on them, so. The only thing I really have is just, get to know people. Want to be I guess I should change my name to Wannabe a Scrap Video Maker or something. I don't know. Anyhow, I'm really happy that I found like this other side of the YouTube scrap community, where it's not like I used to watch like Thumbprint and Tin Man and stuff like that, and I would comment all the time and ask questions. And that Big Stack D, I ask questions because I want to start casting, and nobody ever answered me, except for sometimes people in the comments would answer, but like the people never answered me. But then, if I commented on Bush Dog stuff, he answered. Roadhog answers. Everybody answers. Like Shark Scrapper, Scrappin' Irish, Ian. Like, you always get a response. Like, even if it's just like, I don't know, but thanks for checking it out or whatever. So, that's really the only reason I came back to YouTube and left 3Speak. And the problem I have now is like I can't download all of my videos from 3Speak. I'm trying to get a few of them, but I have a ton of them that are in my phone that never, like, they got edited for 3Speak, uploaded, and then I deleted them, but I still have a lot of the original content. So I'm just trying to basically remake videos and then get that off of my phone. And now from YouTube, I know I can download them, and I always have that content. But that, I don't know, 3Speak, it was good for what it is. It's good. Like, I was probably at some point I was making between $20 and $40 a video. But then I realized the only reason I was getting that was because I was new, and people were like, they want more content creators on there. The only thing is, like, if you're not a certain kind of content creator, like if you're not talking about crypto and you're not pumping up, their platform, like the actual 3Speak votes could be $30 each. I never got those because I just wasn't, I was talking about scrap stuff. Nobody cares. Like, you guys might care, but the average person, I even started scrap communities and everything, and I was like trying to reward their content. So now I just stick with whale shares. It's not a way to get rich. I'm not trying to like tout it as this way to make $1 million in crypto. But whale shares is a place where you could share your YouTube videos, which is what I'm doing on my Wannabe Scrapper account. I put a bunch of the YouTube videos together, and I make a post every once in a while, and you get a few hundred WLS, which is like the cryptocurrency for the whale shares platform. and you can trade that for Bitcoin. It's just not worth very much. Like it's more of a community where, like, what I don't like about YouTube is there's lots of times in the comments where I want to share a photo or something. You can't do that, but on whale shares you can. Right now I was just trying to put together a video about Shark Scrapper because I just found, I'm not going to give it away, but I just found this funny stuff. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a post in whale shares about it, because I can put the photos and I can detail everything, whereas I can't do that very well on a YouTube video. I'm sure some people can. I'm just not that good at making videos right now. So as you can probably tell by this, I obviously way too long. I don't even know what it's at, but I should probably cut it short. Did I even answer the question? I don't know. Anyhow, thank you very much, Roadhog. I appreciate you guys, just checking out my videos and not, like, I know there's some people that don't ever check them out. Like, I see people subscribing and then I never see them, like, commenting on the videos or whatever. I try to comment on as many as I can. And another thing I do, which I don't know, if you're supposed to, is like while I'm scrapping, sometimes I will just leave the videos going and just let it play. Like, it just plays through the ads and stuff, except for this one time there was like a 36-minute ad that I didn't read. It was all about a video game. So I'm just sitting there like listening to a scrap video, and then all of a sudden, like, after, I don't know, like 8 minutes, I'm like, what is going on? Like, did it switch to a different video? And then I go back, and sure enough, it's a 36-minute ad. Hopefully whoever, I don't even remember who I was watching at the time. Hopefully they got paid a lot for that 8 minutes. But anyhow, I appreciate the community here. I'd much rather have less views and more interaction than get a bunch of upvotes from people I don't know, and people who really do not care about what I'm doing. They don't care that you're trying to divert stuff away from throwing them in the dump, and like, they just don't care about that. It makes no difference to them. They don't understand why I might want to. And yeah, it started out as a like a thing where I was like, oh, I can make money doing this, but it very soon became a thing where, like, I just want to do it. I don't even really look at the money because we're so far away from a scrapyard. So I'm saving most of my stuff to melt down later. And then I'll maybe make a channel called Wannabe Caster. I don't know. Anyhow, I hope that answered something. Take care, everybody. Oh yeah, and it's all weight in the bucket.